At Kasai, a clinic in Boa Vista that treats Yanomami who can't be helped in their villages, the doctors, nurses, and nutritionists are dealing with a crisis. Outside the front gate, Toyota Land Cruisers bearing the Doctors Without Borders logo are one indication of how bad things are. Inside the clinic, there is obvious overcrowding, and we saw Yanomami scaling the wall that rings round the compound. We heard stories of Yanomami from one village fighting with Yanomami from another village. Yanomami complain that they find it difficult to sleep at the Kasai clinic because they're used to having a fire near their hammocks at night. The clinic cannot safely accommodate fires near hammocks. Nutritionist Pamela Marr told us that treatments and recovery plans for malnourished Yanomami are much more effective when the Yanomami are at home in their own environment and supported by their own families. They recover better in their own territory, she said, adding, they're very family-oriented. The crisis isn't really medical. It has medical effects, from malaria to alcohol poisoning to death on lonely stretches of road where drivers do not stop to acknowledge just what or who they have run over. Add to that list a constant risk of malnutrition and starvation, the direct result of illegal mining in their territory, cutting them off from traditional food sources. Though we see it medically, and Brazil's government tried to respond with more doctors, nurses, pharmaceuticals, and health stations, the actual crisis is cultural. Before outsiders discovered gold on Yanomami territory in the 1980s, the Yanomami lived in their lush Amazon forest without malaria, without alcohol and other drugs, without malnutrition or famine. Now the outside world has come knocking. Young people are learning to speak Portuguese. Families are walking 5 or 6 days, risking the cars on dirt roads into Boa Vista. In Boa Vista, they wear clothes, eat rice and beans, and listen to music on cheap cell phones, like other Brazilians. The old-time missionaries remember how the Yanomami used to gather for regular occasions and sing songs that had been passed down and passed around in their own language. Now the music at gatherings comes through a JBL speaker linked to a cell phone. Strangers are heard singing in Portuguese to guitar and drums in the Amazon forest. At Kasai, we watch young Yanomami constantly scrolling through their phones. The Yanomami will survive. The Brazilian government will deliver food and medical aid. Sometimes these rescue efforts will fail, but they will also work, and the Yanomami will live. But another generation or two, will the Yanomami still speak Yanomami? Will they still hunt and fish and grow gardens on their land? Will Yanomami mothers sing Yanomami lullabies?